Remember the drama at West Beverly High, the iconic zip code that defined a generation of teen television? It's been over 3 decades since Beverly Hills 90210 first introduced us to Brandon, Brenda, Dylan, and the gang. But what happens after the hallways of high school and the dramas of Melrose Place? In this video, we're catching up with the legendary cast, from Jason Priestley and Shannen Doherty to Luke Perry and the rest. We'll explore their career highs, personal challenges, and see where they are now. Get ready for a major wave of 90s nostalgia and some surprising transformations. Jennie Garth, from Beverly Hills Queen to America's relatable mom. In the glamorous, sun-soaked universe of 1990s teen television, few characters ruled the school and our television sets with as much poise and occasional melodrama as Kelly Taylor from Beverly Hills 90210. And at the heart of this iconic character was Jennie Garth, an actress who managed to become the ultimate mean girl, the sweet girl next door, and a recovering addict, sometimes all within the same episode. While her co-stars were the rebels and the bad boys, Garth was the axis around which the social world of West Beverly High spun. Jennie Garth's career is a fascinating study in navigating teen idol fame and gracefully pivoting to a second act that resonates with the very generation that grew up watching her. She's not just a relic of the 90s, she's a savvy businesswoman, a candid author, and a testament to the fact that life after the zip code 90210 can be just as interesting, if not more so. While Jennie Garth will forever be synonymous with one role, her career has been a steady stream of work that has cleverly played with and against her famous persona, Kelly Taylor in Beverly Hills 90210, 1990-2000, and its revivals. This is the role that defined an era. Kelly Taylor's journey was a roller coaster of every conceivable teen and young adult issue, from popularity contests and dating dilemmas to drug addiction, cults, and being shot at a school dance. Garth played it all with a commitment that made Kelly both relatable and fabulously dramatic. Valerie Tyler in What I Like About You, 2002-2006. In a successful post-90210 sitcom, Garth showcased her excellent comedic timing as the responsible, slightly high-strung older sister to Amanda Bynes' free-spirited Holly. The role proved she could do more than just soapy drama. She could deliver a punchline and anchor a family-friendly show. Various reality TV and hosting gigs. She embraced the reality TV wave with shows like The Jennie Garth Project, renovating a home, and A Little Bit Country, exploring a move to Nashville. She also co-hosted the 90210 recap show, BH90210, which was a meta, humorous look back at her own fame. Long before she was navigating the social minefields of Beverly Hills, Jennie Garth was a small-town girl from Urbana, Illinois, born in 1972. Her upbringing was far from the glitz of Rodeo Drive. She grew up on a farm, riding horses, and living a relatively normal, middle American life. Her path to stardom began when she was discovered by a talent agent at the age of 15 while visiting Los Angeles. She moved to LA with her mother to pursue a career in acting, landing commercials and small roles in films like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1990. Her big break came almost immediately afterward when she was cast in a new, untested teen drama for Fox. The rest, as they say, is television history. When Jennie Garth was cast as Kelly Taylor, the character was initially written as a classic, shallow mean girl, but Garth's talent and likability quickly forced the writers to dig deeper. Over 10 seasons, Kelly evolved into the show's emotional core. She was the friend you could count on, the girlfriend with notoriously bad judgment in men, we're looking at you, Dylan and Brandon, and a survivor. Garth's relationship with the show is one of proud ownership and fond, if slightly bewildered, nostalgia. She has been open about the intense pressure of that level of fame at a young age, the grueling work schedule, and the body image issues that came with being a star on a hit show. However, she consistently expresses gratitude for the experience and the lifelong bonds she formed with the cast. She doesn't run from her Kelly Taylor legacy. She embraces it with a self-aware humor, fully understanding the character's iconic place in pop culture. She was the steady hand on a wildly dramatic ship, and she knew it. After 90210 ended its original run, Garth smartly avoided being typecast as a drama queen. Her starring role in What I Like About You was a strategic and successful move, running for 4 seasons and introducing her to a new, younger audience. It proved her versatility and staying power. In the 2010s, she leaned into the reality TV trend, allowing fans to see a more authentic, down-to-earth version of herself. Whether she was wielding a hammer on the Jennie Garth project or contemplating a major life change on A Little Bit Country, she presented herself as a relatable mom and woman navigating life's challenges, a far cry from the perfectly coiffed Kelly Taylor. Jennie Garth's personal life has been a journey of very public learning. She was first married to musician Daniel B. Clark, with whom she has 3 daughters. After their divorce, she had a highly publicized marriage to actor Peter Fasinelli, which ended in 2013 after over a decade together. She has been remarkably candid about the difficulties of her divorces, the challenges of co-parenting, and her struggles with anxiety and self-esteem. In her memoir, Deep Thoughts from a Hollywood Blonde, she opened up with a mix of humor and raw honesty, endearing her to fans who saw their own struggles reflected in her stories. Today, she seems to have found a more peaceful chapter, focusing on her daughters, her work, and her own well-being, presenting an image of a woman who has weathered public storms and come out stronger on the other side. So, where is Jennie Garth now? She has elegantly transitioned into the role of a lifestyle influencer and entrepreneur, connecting with her audience on her own terms. While she still acts occasionally, her primary focus seems to be on building her personal brand. She is highly active on social media, where she shares glimpses of her life, her passion for interior design, and her journey with wellness and mindfulness. She's no longer just an actress, she's a content creator who has maintained a direct and genuine connection with the fans who have followed her for decades. She also remains a beloved figure on the nostalgia circuit, appearing at fan conventions where she greets admirers with warmth and humor. The 2019 meta-revival BH90210 showed she could still laugh at herself and the phenomenon that made her famous. Jennie Garth today is the picture of graceful evolution. She took the platform that Beverly Hills 90210 gave her and built a multifaceted career and life that feels authentic and self-determined. She went from being America's teenage sweetheart to becoming a relatable voice for women her own age, proving that the most interesting role she'll ever play is simply herself, and she's playing it beautifully. Ian Ziering, from Beverly Hills jock to shark-punching folk hero. In the sprawling, sun-drenched saga of Beverly Hills 90210, where every character was an archetype of teen drama, Ian Ziering had a seemingly simple job: play the jock. As Steve Sanders, the preppy, sometimes clueless, often hilarious foil to the more brooding Brandon and Dylan, he was the comic relief with a surprisingly good heart. But to write off Ian Ziering as just a 90s teen idol would be to ignore one of the most bizarre, resilient, and unexpectedly awesome career reinventions in Hollywood history. This is the man who gracefully navigated the transition from high school heartthrob to the star of a franchise about genetically engineered shark tornadoes, and in doing so, became a beloved, self-aware cult icon. Ziering's career is a masterclass in adaptability. He never took himself too seriously, embraced the opportunities that came his way with gusto, and ultimately proved that fame is a wild ride best enjoyed with a sense of humor and a willingness to punch a shark in the face. Ian Ziering's filmography is a fascinating 2-act play with a very clear intermission. Steve Sanders in Beverly Hills 90210, 1990 to 2000. This is the foundation. For a decade, Ziering was the lovable, silver spoon-fed jock who evolved from a shallow bully into a loyal friend and even a responsible father figure. Steve was the guy who provided the show with some of its funniest and most cringe-worthy moments, and Ziering played him with a perfect blend of charm and cluelessness. Finn Shepard in the Sharknado franchise, 2013 to 2018. This is the glorious second act. In a role that would define his career for a new generation, Ziering played a bar owner and former surfer who battles flying sharks in increasingly ridiculous weather phenomena with a chainsaw. His dead-serious commitment to the absurd premise is what made the film so deliciously watchable, turning him into a modern-day B-movie king. Himself in various reality shows, Ziering has never been shy about the camera. He competed on Dancing with the Stars, showed off his life on My Family is a Pussycat, about his family and their pet bobcat, and even starred in a reality show about his wedding, I Married a Bachelor. Long before he was driving a convertible through Beverly Hills, Ian Ziering was a kid from Newark, New Jersey, born in 1964. He showed an early interest in performance, appearing in television commercials as a child. He attended William Patterson University, but the acting bug had already bitten. His early career was a grind of small roles in soap operas like The Guiding Light and bit parts in films. He was a working actor, paying his dues and waiting for his big break. That break came in 1990 when he was cast in a new teen drama for the fledgling Fox network. He wasn't initially a series regular, but his character's popularity with audiences quickly secured him a permanent spot at the Peach Pit. When Ian Ziering started on Beverly Hills 90210, Steve Sanders was written as a minor antagonist, a privileged foil to the wholesome Walsh twins. But Ziering's inherent likability and comedic timing quickly made Steve a fan favorite. The writers leaned in, giving Steve some of the show's most memorably ridiculous storylines, from becoming a teenage father to joining a cult and starting a cologne empire. Ziering's relationship with the show is one of pure, unadulterated gratitude and good humor. He has never been anything but proud of his time on 90210 and embraces his place in its legacy. He understands that Steve was the show's lovable goofball, and he seems to have had more fun than anyone else playing in that sandbox. He's the cast member who most readily laughs at the show's melodrama and his own character's misadventures, a quality that has made him a perennial favorite at fan conventions. The end of 90210 left Ziering in a familiar position for a teen idol. What next? Unlike some of his peers who struggled for relevance, Ziering became a hustler. He embraced reality television, showing off his dancing skills on Dancing with the Stars and his family life on various shows. He did voice work, most notably as the heroic Vinny on Spider-Man, the new animated series. He never turned his nose up at work. He understood that a career in entertainment is a business, and he was a savvy businessman. This say-yes attitude is what eventually led him to the role that would redefine his career and make him a folk hero to a new generation: Sharknado. Ian Ziering's personal life has seen its share of ups and downs, but he has ultimately emerged as a devoted family man. He was first married to Playboy model Nikki Sheeler, and after their divorce, he married nurse Erin Ludwig in 2010. With Erin, he has 2 daughters, and his social media is a testament to his role as a proud girl dad. He often shares photos and stories about his family, presenting an image of a man who is deeply content in his role as a husband and father. While he happily engages with his 90210 and Sharknado legacy, his private life appears to be his true priority, a grounded center away from the Hollywood chaos. So, where is Ian Ziering today? He is, by all accounts, thriving as a versatile and beloved entertainment figure. While the Sharknado storm has calmed, its legacy ensures he will always be in demand for fan conventions and niche sci-fi projects. He continues to act, popping up in guest roles on various TV shows and in independent films. However, his most significant role today is as a master of his own brand. He is a constant and engaging presence on social media, where he shares everything from family moments to behind-the-scenes glimpses of his work and witty commentary on his own unique career path. He has fully leaned into his status as a self-aware, good-humored icon. Most importantly, he remains a fan favorite at conventions. His panels are known for their energy, humor, and genuine appreciation for the people who have supported him for over 3 decades. He signs photos of Steve Sanders and Finn Shepard with equal enthusiasm, understanding that both characters are part of his unique and wonderful story. Ian Ziering today is the ultimate example of an actor who won the long game by not taking himself too seriously. He went from being the jock in the background to the star who fought a Sharknado with a chainsaw, and he has enjoyed every single ridiculous minute of the ride. And honestly, isn't that the most Steve Sanders ending imaginable? Brian Austin Green, the underdog who outlasted them all in the glittering, drama-filled universe of Beverly Hills 90210, where characters were often defined by their wealth, their perfect hair, or their brooding intensity. Brian Austin Green had a unique role. He was the normal one. As David Silver, he started as the dorky freshman sidekick, desperately trying to fit in with the cool juniors. But while his co-stars were playing football and navigating love triangles, Green was quietly executing one of the most surprising and enduring career arcs in the entire 90210 saga. He's the actor who evolved from the geeky kid with a video camera to a credible rapper, a sci-fi action star, and a master of navigating the surreal waters of modern fame. Green's career is a testament to resilience, adaptability, and a refreshing lack of ego. He never seemed desperate to be the leading man, which is perhaps why he has managed to remain a relevant and working actor for over 3 decades, all while cultivating a persona that is equal parts earnest and hilariously self-deprecating. Brian Austin Green's filmography is a fascinating journey through the evolving landscape of pop culture with a few surprising detours. David Silver in Beverly Hills, 90210, 1990-2000. This is the bedrock. David's journey from awkward freshman to successful club DJ and music producer was the show's most believable evolution. Green grew up on screen, and his character provided a relatable anchor amidst the often outlandish plots. Derek Reese in Terminator, The Sarah Connor Chronicles, 2008-2009. In a career-redefining role, Green proved he could handle action and grit. As the hardened soldier from the future and nephew of Kyle Reese, he was a far cry from the boyish David Silver, earning him new respect from critics and sci-fi fans. Himself on, and Megan, various platforms. In perhaps his most modern and meta role, Green has become a frequent, hilarious guest on his ex-fiancée Megan Fox's comedy series. Playing an exaggerated, deadpan version of himself, he showcases a brilliant, dry wit that fans never knew he had. Voice work in Robot Chicken and Others. His distinctive voice has made him a favorite in the animation world, particularly on Seth Green's stop-motion comedy show. Born in 1973 in Van Nuys, California, Brian Austin Green's path to acting was a practical one. He started young, landing commercials to help support his family. He was a working child actor, appearing in shows like The New Leave It to Beaver and Small Wonder, long before West Beverly High was a glimmer in a producer's eye. He was, by his own account, a shy kid, which makes his casting as the initially awkward David Silver somewhat less of a stretch. He was in the trenches of Hollywood from a young age, learning the business from the ground up. This early start gave him a level-headed perspective that would prove crucial when 90210 catapulted him to global fame. When Brian Austin Green was cast in Beverly Hills 90210, he was several years younger than the rest of the core cast, both in real life and in the show's narrative. He was the little brother, the hanger-on. But as the series progressed, so did David Silver, and so did Green's role within the show. His character's foray into the music industry allowed Green to explore his own real-life passion for rap music. He even released an album, One Stop Carnival, and while it wasn't a massive commercial success, it was a genuine artistic pursuit that added a layer of authenticity to David's DJ ambitions. Green's relationship with the show is complex. He has expressed gratitude for the platform, but has also been candid about the challenges of being so intensely typecast as David Silver for years after the show ended. He felt pigeonholed and struggled to be taken seriously as an actor. However, time has healed those wounds, and he now seems to look back on the experience with a sense of humor and perspective, happily engaging with fans about the show at conventions. After 90210, Green deliberately sought out roles that were the antithesis of David Silver. He found a perfect fit in the world of science fiction and action. His role as Derek Reese in Terminator, The Sarah Connor Chronicles, was a game-changer. It was dark, physical, and proved he had the chops for drama and action. He continued to work steadily in the genre, appearing in shows like Desperate Housewives, Anger Management, and The Flash. He never became a massive movie star, but he built a solid reputation as a reliable and talented character actor, something that is often more sustainable in the long run than fleeting A-list fame. If there's one area where Brian Austin Green's life has rivaled the drama of 90210, it's in his personal relationships. His long-term relationship and eventual marriage to megastar Megan Fox was a tabloid fixture for years. The couple, with their tattooed rock and roll aesthetic, became one of Hollywood's most talked-about pairs. They have 3 sons together, and despite their highly publicized engagement, split, reconciliation, and final separation, they have maintained a remarkably amicable co-parenting relationship. Green is also a father to a son from a previous relationship. Through all the media scrutiny, he has presented himself as a devoted, hands-on dad. His social media is filled with photos and stories about his kids, painting a picture of a man whose primary focus is fatherhood. More recently, his relationship with Dancing with the Stars pro Sharna Burgess, with whom he has a son, has shown a more settled, contented side of him. So, where is Brian Austin Green now? He has elegantly settled into the role of a modern media personality and content creator. His primary platform is his podcast, With Brian Austin Green. Here, he has found his true calling. He is a natural interviewer, relaxed, curious, and funny. The podcast has given fans a new appreciation for his intelligence, his dry humor, and his thoughtful perspective on life, fame, and fatherhood. He continues to act, taking on guest spots that interest him, but the pressure to be a star seems to have lifted. He's a regular and beloved presence on the fan convention circuit, where his panels are known for their candor and humor. Brian Austin Green today is the picture of hard-won contentment. He survived teen idol fame, navigated the treacherous waters of tabloid notoriety, and emerged on the other side as a podcast host, a dedicated father, and a self-aware entertainer who seems to be genuinely enjoying this chapter of his life. He's no longer the dorky kid on the sidelines. He's the guy who figured out that the real victory was finding happiness off-screen. Tori, Spelling, the ultimate heiress of 90210 and reality TV royalty. In the glittering, often absurd world of Hollywood, few stories are as uniquely meta and endlessly fascinating as that of Tori Spelling. She is, quite literally, television royalty, the daughter of legendary producer Aaron Spelling, the man behind more hit TV shows than you can count. Yet her life has played out like one of her father's most dramatic, comedic, and sometimes tragic scripts. From the pristine, fictional halls of West Beverly High to the messy, gloriously public chaos of her real life, Tori has lived her entire existence in the spotlight, becoming a pop culture icon not in spite of her quirks, but because of them. She is the original famous for being famous star, who somehow also had a real, iconic acting role. Her career is a masterclass in brand extension, a wild ride through sitcoms, reality TV, memoirs, and entrepreneurial ventures that reads less like a filmography and more like a fascinating case study in modern celebrity. While one role towers over all others, Tori Spelling has built an entire empire on being, well, Tori Spelling. Donna Martin in Beverly Hills, 902 Wow, 1990-2000. This is the big one. As Donna Martin, the sweet, virginal, and fashion-forward best friend, Tori became a household name. Donna's journey from shy teen to successful fashion designer was a cornerstone of the show, and her Donna Martin Graduates storyline is etched into television history. Herself in a multitude of reality shows, this is her true second act. From Tori and Dean, In Love and its many sequels, to True Tori and Mystery Girls, Spelling turned her life, her marriages, her business ventures, her financial woes, into must-see TV. She is the undisputed queen of this specific genre. Vicky in The Troop, 2008-2009. In a fun, niche role, she played the school nurse superhero mentor in this Nickelodeon series, introducing her to a new generation of kids. Author and entrepreneur, she is a New York Times best-selling author of multiple candid memoirs and has launched various business ventures, from jewelry lines to a short-lived boutique. Tori Spelling was born in 1973 in Los Angeles, and her childhood was anything but normal. She grew up in the infamous Spelling Manor, a 56,000-square-foot mansion that was the largest private home in California. Her father, Aaron Spelling, was the king of primetime television, responsible for hits like Charlie's Angels, Dynasty, and of course Beverly Hills, 90210. Despite this unimaginable wealth and privilege, Tori has described her childhood as lonely and fraught with pressure. She was thrust into acting at a young age, with small parts in her father's shows. The expectation to succeed in the family business was immense, and her every move was scrutinized. She wasn't just an actress trying to make it, she was the boss's daughter, a label that brought both opportunity and immense baggage. When Beverly Hills 90210 was cast, the rumors were immediate. Tori only got the part because of her father. And while that certainly opened the door, she spent 10 seasons proving she could walk through it. Donna Martin started as a minor character, but grew into a central figure. She was the heart of the group, the moral compass, and the subject of some of the show's most memorable fashion moments and missteps. Spelling's relationship with the role is deeply complex. It made her a star and provided her with financial independence from her famously controlling father. However, she has also spoken about the intense pressure she felt and the struggle to be taken seriously. She was forever Donna Martin in the public eye, a persona so sweet it was difficult to escape. Yet, she has never shied away from it. She embraces the legacy, understanding that Donna Martin is her ticket to a lifelong conversation with the public. even as she has spent decades showing us she is anything but the virginal girl next door. After 9021 show ended, Spelling could have faded from view. Instead, she leaned into the public's fascination with her and invented a new kind of career. In 2006, she launched Tori and Dean, In Love, a reality show documenting her relationship with Dean McDermott and their attempt to run a bed and breakfast. The show was a hit because it was the antithesis of Donna Martin. Here was Tori being messy, in love, struggling with business, and being genuinely funny. She opened up her life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the public couldn't look away. This launched a decade of reality TV that documented her marriage, the birth of her 5 children, and every financial and marital hurdle in between. She became a master of turning her personal chaos into content. If 90210 was a drama, Tori Spelling's real life has been a telenovela. Her marriage to Dean McDermott has been a central plotline, played out in real time across tabloids and their own reality shows. It has been a saga of infidelity, reconciliation, financial turmoil, and yet a seemingly unbreakable bond. She has been remarkably candid about their struggles, from Dean's very public affair to their near-constant money problems. She has filed for bankruptcy, faced eviction, and documented it all. Through it all, her role as a mother to her 5 children has been her steadfast priority. Her life is a fascinating paradox, a woman who grew up in unbelievable luxury, now constantly navigating very public financial distress, all while maintaining a sense of humor and resilience that is oddly admirable. So, where is Tori Spelling in 2025-2026? In many ways, she is in her most iconic era yet, the survivor. Her career is a multi-platform testament to her ability to stay relevant. She remains a podcast host and reality TV fixture, with new projects constantly in the works that explore the next chapter of her life. Her social media is a direct line to her fans, where she shares everything from family moments to her latest business ventures. She is also a best-selling author, with her memoirs providing a more reflective look at the chaos we've watched unfold on screen. And of course, she remains a nostalgia icon, beloved at fan conventions where fans celebrate Donna Martin while getting the real, unfiltered Tori. Tori Spelling today is a phoenix who has risen from the ashes of countless tabloid scandals. She took the fame she inherited and multiplied it through sheer force of personality and a complete lack of pretense. She is proof that in today's world, authenticity, even when it's messy, is the most valuable currency. From the Spelling Manor to a reported leaky RV, her journey has been anything but boring, and we've all been helplessly, happily, along for the ride. Jason Priestley, the moral compass who learned to steer himself. In the neon-soaked, drama-filled landscape of early 90s television, someone had to be the adult in the room. On Beverly Hills, 90210, that responsibility fell squarely on the shoulders of Brandon Walsh, the principled, hockey-playing, newspaper-editing transplant from Minnesota. And the man tasked with embodying this bastion of morality was Jason Priestley. For a generation, he was the nice guy, the reliable one, the brother you wished you had. But to pigeonhole Jason Priestley as just a teen idol would be a dramatic misreading of his career, akin to thinking Brandon Walsh never had a dark moment. Priestley's journey is one of shrewd reinvention, from the fresh-faced heartthrob of the Peach Pit to a respected director, producer, and character actor who has gracefully navigated the treacherous waters of post-fame life. He is the rare teen idol who seemed to understand the fleeting nature of that fame from the very beginning. While his co-stars were basking in the glow, Priestley was already looking behind the camera, plotting a career that would outlast the inevitable cancellation of the show that made him a star. While one role defines him in the public consciousness, Jason Priestley has carefully and deliberately built a resume that showcases his range and intelligence. Brandon Walsh in Beverly Hills, 90210, 1990 to 1998. This is the foundation. For 8 seasons, Priestley was the moral center of the zip code. Brandon was the guy who always tried to do the right thing, even when it made him slightly boring. Priestley's earnest performance made you believe in Brandon's integrity. Richard Fitzpatrick in True Calling, 2003 to 2004. In a fun post-90210 role, Priestley played a charming, sinister coroner who served as the antagonist to Eliza Dushku's protagonist. It was a welcome departure, showing he could play a character with a moral compass that spun wildly. Director and producer, this is his true second act. Priestley has directed numerous television shows, including episodes of The Secret Life of the American Teenager, Beverly Hills, 90210, the reboot, and Riverdale, proving his deep understanding of the industry from the other side of the lens. Voice actor in Mighty Ducks and Mummies Alive. Long before and during his 90210 fame, he was a prolific voice actor, showcasing his versatility and work ethic. Jason Priestley was born in Vancouver, British Columbia in 1969, and his path to acting was a deliberate one. He began acting in commercials as a child and was a working actor throughout his teens in Canada, appearing in various television shows and films. He wasn't an overnight sensation, he was a professional honing his craft. He moved to Los Angeles in the late 1980s to pursue a career in film, landing small roles before auditioning for a new teen drama for the Fox network. He was initially considered for the role of Steve Sanders, but he fought for and won the part of Brandon Walsh. The rest is 90s television history. His Canadian roots and his years of professional experience gave him a grounded perspective that would prove invaluable when fame hit like a tsunami. When Beverly Hills 90210 premiered, Jason Priestley instantly became the poster boy for the all-American good guy. In a show filled with rebels, schemers, and socialites, Brandon Walsh was the anchor. He was the one parents approved of, the one who could be counted on to give a heartfelt speech about ethics. Priestley's relationship with the role is one of proud ownership mixed with a healthy desire to move on. He has never disowned Brandon Walsh. He understands the character's significance and the doors it opened for him. However, he has also been candid about the immense pressure of that level of fame and his conscious effort to break away from the nice guy typecasting. He famously directed several episodes of the show, a clear signal that his ambitions extended beyond being in front of the camera. He was the first of the cast to seriously look beyond the show's horizon, ensuring he wouldn't be left adrift when it ended. After leaving 90210 in 1998, Priestley deliberately took on roles that were the antithesis of Brandon Walsh. He did indie films, theater, and guest spots on dramatic series, determined to be seen as a versatile actor. The real success of his post-90210 career, however, has been his work behind the camera. He transitioned seamlessly into directing, becoming a sought-after director for television. This move was a masterstroke. It allowed him to remain a powerful creative force in the industry without having to rely on his fading heartthrob status. He proved he wasn't just a pretty face. He was a sharp, knowledgeable filmmaker with a great eye for storytelling. In an industry known for its turbulence, Jason Priestley's personal life has been a model of stability, with one notable cautionary exception. In 2002, he was involved in a serious car crash while racing, which resulted in a lengthy recovery and served as a very public wake-up call. He has been married to makeup artist Naomi Loud since 2005, and they have 2 children together. He is famously private, focusing on his family and his work away from the glare of the tabloids. He comes across as a contented, grounded man who values his privacy and his life as a father and husband above his celebrity. This low-key persona is a far cry from the intense fame of his 20s and seems to be a conscious choice for a man who has seen the darker side of stardom. So, where is Jason Priestley now? He is in an enviable and respected position, that of an esteemed industry veteran. He continues to act and direct regularly. You can find him in guest spots on popular shows and starring in Hallmark movies, where his familiar, trustworthy face is a welcome presence. His work directing episodes of the 90210 reboot and Riverdale shows, he's still deeply connected to the world of teen drama, but now as a seasoned guide. He is also a beloved author and podcast host. His memoir, Jason Priestley: A Memoir, was praised for its candor and humor, and he co-hosts the popular podcast Hollywood Gold with Jason Priestley and Trevor Pym, where he interviews colleagues with the insight of someone who has seen it all. Most importantly, he remains a gracious icon of nostalgia. He attends fan conventions with a sense of appreciation and humor, fully embracing his place in pop culture history without being defined by it. Jason Priestley today is the ultimate success story. He survived teen idolatry, learned from his mistakes, built a sustainable career on his own terms, and became a respected figure in the industry. He went from being America's boyfriend to becoming Hollywood's cool, capable uncle who knows exactly how the machine works. And that, as Brandon Walsh might say, is the most principled career path of all. Luke Perry, the soulful rebel who never went out of style. In the pantheon of 1990s teen idols, few figures cast a shadow as long and soulful as Luke Perry. With his slicked back hair, sideburns that defied geographical classification, and a brooding intensity that could melt a heart from 50 paces, he didn't just play a character on Beverly Hills 90210, he became an archetype. Dylan McKay was the damaged, James Dean-esque loner who read poetry, drove a convertible, and made every parent in America nervous. But to remember Luke Perry only as a pinup is to miss the depth of the man and the actor. His career was a masterclass in navigating fame with grace, and his story is one of a small-town boy who never lost his roots, even when he became one of the biggest stars on the planet. Perry was the rare teen idol who seemed genuinely bemused by his own fame. He wasn't just playing cool, he was cool, in the truest sense of the word, authentic, unpretentious, and fiercely loyal to the people and places that made him. While one role will forever be etched in pop culture history, Luke Perry's filmography reveals an actor constantly seeking challenge and shattering his own heartthrob image. Dylan McKay in Beverly Hills, 90210, 1990, 1995, 1998 to 2000. This is the role that launched a million bedroom posters. Dylan was the complicated bad boy with a heart of gold, a trope that existed before, but never with such potent, side-burned perfection. Perry made angst artistic and turned brooding into a superpower. Fred Andrews in Riverdale, 2017 to 2019. In a stroke of genius casting, Perry returned to the world of teen drama as Archie's father. This time, he was the moral compass, the wise, kind, and dependable dad every kid in that bizarre town wished they had. It was a full-circle moment that showcased his maturity and warmth. Reverend Jeremiah Cloutier in Oz, 2001. In a gritty, shocking departure, Perry played a corrupt, manipulative prison minister on HBO's brutal drama. It was a stark declaration that he was done with being just a pretty face. Pike in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 1992. In the original film that predated the series, he played a vain, leather-clad vampire hunter, a hilarious and meta preview of the heartthrob status that was coming his way. Long before he was navigating the fictional dramas of Beverly Hills, Luke Perry was a kid from Mansfield, Ohio, born in 1966. His childhood was rooted in Midwestern normality. He was a wrestler in high school and worked in a local doorknob factory after graduation. But he had bigger dreams. He moved to Los Angeles at a young age to pursue acting, and like countless others, faced a long period of rejection. He lived in a shared apartment, took any acting job he could get, and appeared in commercials for products like Mountain Dew. His big break came after he was initially rejected for 90210. The producers thought he was too old and too much, but they eventually realized that intensity was exactly what the show needed, and they called him back. The rest is television history. When Luke Perry stepped onto the screen as Dylan McKay, the dynamic of Beverly Hills 90210 changed instantly. He wasn't just another character, he was a phenomenon. Dylan was the outsider who understood the corrupting influence of wealth because he lived it. He was tormented, intelligent, and irresistibly magnetic. Perry's relationship with the role was complex. He was immensely grateful for the opportunity, but quickly grew weary of the insane level of fame. He famously asked to be written out of the show in its heyday to pursue film roles and escape the Dylan mania that followed him everywhere. He later returned, showing a loyalty to the show and the fans. He never disrespected the character or the fans who loved him, but he always made it clear there was more to him than Dylan McKay. He handled the suffocating attention with a wry sense of humor and a grounded humility that was rare for someone in his position. After leaving 90210, Perry actively sought roles that would dismantle his heartthrob image. He did stage work starring in off-Broadway productions. He took on gritty, independent films and guest starred on dramatic shows like Criminal Minds and Law & Order, SVU. He never achieved the same level of movie stardom as some of his peers, but that seemed to be by design. He was more interested in being a working actor than a movie star. He found a comfortable niche playing supporting roles in westerns and crime dramas, always bringing a layer of depth and authenticity that elevated every project he was in. In stark contrast to his tumultuous on-screen persona, Luke Perry's personal life was a haven of quiet stability. He was fiercely private, rarely discussing his family in interviews. He was married to Rachel Minnie Sharp from 1993 to 2003, and though they divorced, they remained close co-parents to their two children, Jack and Sophie. He was, by all accounts, a devoted and hands-on father who valued his time with his kids above all else. He chose to live on a farm in Tennessee, far from the Hollywood glare, where he could ride horses and enjoy a simple, grounded life. This desire for normalcy was the core of who he was. The Ohio farm boy never left him. Tragically, there is no Luke Perry today. The actor suffered a massive stroke in March 2019 and passed away at the age of 52, sending a shockwave of grief through the entertainment industry and the generation that grew up with him. His legacy, however, is profound and enduring. At the time of his passing, he was experiencing a career renaissance with his beloved role as Fred Andrews on Riverdale, introducing him to a new generation of fans. His final years were a testament to his talent and his character. He had become the wise, paternal figure on set, a mentor to the young cast, much like he was a father figure to his on-screen son. Luke Perry's story is not about where he is now, but about the indelible mark he left. He is remembered not just as a 90s icon, but as a genuinely kind, humble, and incredibly talented man who handled superstardom with grace and always stayed true to himself. He was the soulful rebel who, it turns out, had the purest heart of all. His cool was, and remains, timeless. Shannen Doherty, the original rebel queen who wrote her own rules. In the carefully manicured world of 1990s television, where teen characters were often sanitized for your protection, Shannen Doherty arrived like a lightning bolt. With a defiant glare and a talent that burned brighter than the California sun, she didn't just play characters, she imbued them with a raw, undeniable edge that was both captivating and, for studio executives, occasionally terrifying. She was the original rebel queen of teen drama, a woman whose real-life persona became as legendary and discussed as the iconic roles she played. Her career is a roller coaster of incredible highs, publicized lows, and a third act defined by a courage so profound it has redefined her entire legacy. To talk about Shannen Doherty is to talk about talent, controversy, resilience, and ultimately, an astonishing strength that has made her an icon for an entirely new and more important reason. Shannen Doherty's filmography is built on a foundation of two colossal characters who redefined what a young woman on television could be. Brenda Walsh in Beverly Hills, 90210, 1990-1994. This is the role that made her a superstar. As the twin sister from Minnesota, Brenda was the heart and conscience of the show's early years. She was dramatic, principled, passionate, and utterly relatable. Doherty made Brenda's struggles with identity, love, and family feel achingly real. Prue Halliwell in Charmed, 1998 to 2001. After her departure from 90210, Doherty proved her star power was undimmed by headlining this massive supernatural hit. As the powerful, responsible, and fiercely protective oldest sister Prue, she was the anchor of the Power of Three. Her performance gave the show a grounding force and a serious dramatic weight. Various film roles, from her debut in Little House on the Prairie to her iconic role as the Queen Bee in Heathers, Doherty was a working actress long before the zip code 90210 was a glimmer in a producer's eye. Shannen Doherty was born in Memphis, Tennessee in 1971 and was a working actress from a remarkably young age. She began her career with ballet but quickly transitioned to acting, landing her first role at the age of 10. She was a true child star, growing up on sets and learning her craft in real time. This early immersion in the industry forged a strong, independent, and sometimes uncompromising young woman. She was professional, talented, and knew her own mind, a combination that, in the often patriarchal world of 90s television, could easily be misconstrued as difficult. By the time she was cast in Beverly Hills 90210, she was already a veteran, a fact that set her apart from many of her co-stars. When Beverly Hills 90210 premiered, Shannen Doherty was an immediate standout. As Brenda Walsh, she was the emotional core of the show. Her chemistry with Jason Priestley's Brandon felt authentically sibling-like, and her tumultuous relationship with Dylan McKay, Luke Perry, became the defining teen romance of the era. However, Doherty's time on the show was as tumultuous as some of Brenda's plotlines. She developed a reputation in the tabloids for being difficult, a label often applied to strong young women in Hollywood who don't conform to expectations. The pressure of immense fame, combined with reported clashes on set, culminated in her departure from the show after 4 seasons. Her relationship with the show has been complex. For years, it was a source of public friction. However, time has healed many wounds. In recent years, she has participated in the 90210 reboot and spoken with more fondness about her time on the show, acknowledging its immense impact on her life and career while also being candid about the challenges she faced. Many predicted Doherty's career would falter after her very public exit from 90210. They were wrong. She proved her resilience by headlining another massive hit, Charmed. As Prue Halliwell, she was the powerful, capable center of a show that celebrated female strength, both magical and personal. Her departure from Charmed after 3 seasons led to another round of tabloid speculation, but Doherty continued to work steadily. She directed, produced, and starred in reality shows like Shannon Says and Scare Tactics, showing a willingness to control her own narrative and a sharp, self-deprecating sense of humor about her public persona. Shannen Doherty's personal life has been a constant feature in the tabloids. Her relationships, including her marriages to Rick Ashford and Kurt Iswarienko, were dissected publicly. She was often portrayed as a bad girl, a narrative she has spent decades both battling and, at times, leaning into. Through it all, she has shown a fierce loyalty to her close friends and family. Her friendships with co-stars like Holly Marie Combs, Charmed, have endured for decades, a testament to the person she is away from the cameras. The tabloid narrative often obscured a much more complex person, intelligent, loyal, and deeply committed to her craft. Any discussion of Shannen Doherty today must begin with her breathtaking public battle with cancer. First diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015, she went into remission in 2017, only to reveal the cancer had returned in 2019 as stage 4. It is in this battle that Doherty has forged her most powerful and impactful legacy. She has chosen to document her journey with raw, unflinching honesty. She has shared the painful, the scary, and the hopeful moments, using her platform to advocate for cancer research and to support others going through similar fights. Her career continues, but it is now framed by this reality. She has returned to acting, with roles in shows like Riverdale, not as a nostalgic cameo, but as a statement of defiance and a commitment to living her life fully. Her podcast, Let's Be Clear with Shannen Doherty, has become a powerful platform for her to tell her own story, on her own terms, with her signature candor and humor intact. Shannen Doherty today is no longer just the rebel from 90210 or the witch from Charmed. She is a symbol of unimaginable courage. She took the fiery spirit she always possessed and channeled it into the fight of her life. She has redefined what it means to be a fighter, showing a generation that watched her on TV what true strength looks like. The bad girl image has long since faded, replaced by the enduring portrait of a warrior. Gabrielle Carteris, the brainy understudy who became the real-life MVP. In the dazzling, sun-kissed universe of Beverly Hills 90210, where the core cast seemed to be forged in a crucible of perfect hair and teenage glamour, Gabrielle Carteris entered the scene as a delightful, brainy curveball. As Andrea Zuckerman, the driven, academically focused newspaper editor with glasses and a sensible sweater, she was the relatable entry point for every viewer who ever prioritized a GPA over a party. But while her character was the voice of reason in the whirlwind of West Beverly High, Carteris's own journey has been far more surprising and impactful. She is the ultimate story of the understudy who not only stole the show, but went on to run the entire theater, transforming from a teen drama standout into a powerful labor leader and advocate. Her career is a masterclass in leveraging fame for a greater purpose, proving that the most interesting storylines sometimes happen off-camera. While one role defines her on-screen legacy, Gabrielle Carteris's career is a fascinating blend of acting and real-world influence. Andrea Zuckerman in Beverly Hills 90210, 1990-1995. This is the cornerstone. Andrea was the earnest, intellectual heart of the early seasons. She was the friend who gave good advice, the journalist chasing a story, and the character whose unexpected pregnancy storyline provided some of the show's most grounded drama. President of SAG-AFTRA, 2016 to 2021. This is her blockbuster second act. After years of union service, Carteris was elected president of the largest labor union representing entertainers in the world. This wasn't a role, it was a powerful position where she fought for actors' rights, residuals, and working conditions. Various TV guest star roles, post-90210, she continued acting with guest spots on shows like The Event and Criminal Minds, often playing, you guessed it, intelligent, authoritative figures like lawyers and councilwomen. Host and producer, she hosted the talk show AEI and has produced several projects, showcasing her versatility behind the camera. Gabrielle Carteris was born in Scottsdale, Arizona in 1961, and the performing arts were in her blood from the beginning. She attended the prestigious acting program at Sarah Lawrence College, a fact that immediately sets her apart from the typical teen idol backstory. She was a serious student of her craft. Before her big break, she was a working actress in New York, performing in theater and landing small television roles. She was, in many ways, the real-life Andrea Zuckerman, educated, focused, and ambitious. She moved to Los Angeles to further her career, and after initially auditioning for the role of Brenda Walsh, the producers were so impressed they created the part of Andrea specifically for her. When Beverly Hills 90210 became a global phenomenon, Gabrielle Carteris found herself in a unique and somewhat awkward position. She was nearly 30 years old playing a 16-year-old high school student, a fact that became a minor tabloid sensation. While her castmates were navigating their actual late teens and early 20s, Carteris was arguably the most mature person on set. Her relationship with the role is one of deep gratitude and perspective. She has always expressed thankfulness for the opportunity and the platform it provided. However, she has also been candid about the challenges, from the intense public scrutiny of her age to the difficulty of Andrea's later storylines, which she felt strayed from the character's core. While others partied, Carteris was often the voice of reason, a role that would foreshadow her future career. She didn't just play the responsible one, she lived it. After leaving 90210, Carteris continued to act, but her passion clearly began shifting toward labor and advocacy. She became deeply involved with the Screen Actors Guild, SAG, serving in various leadership positions for years. This wasn't a mere hobby for a former actress, it was a second calling. She leveraged the name recognition from 90210, not for more fame, but to effect real change for her fellow actors. While her former co-stars were starring in reality shows and horror franchises, Carteris was in boardrooms, negotiating contracts and fighting for health and pension plans. Her post-90210 career may have had less tabloid glamour, but it possessed far more substance and impact. In a world of dramatic Hollywood relationships, Gabrielle Carteris's personal life has been a model of stability and quiet happiness. She has been married to stockbroker Charles Isaac since 1992, and they have 2 daughters together. She has fiercely protected her family's privacy, raising her children away from the spotlight. Her social media reflects a woman centered on family, friendship, and her work, not on fame. She represents a different path, the actor who achieved massive fame and then consciously chose a normal, grounded life, using her influence for advocacy rather than celebrity. So, where is Gabrielle Carteris in 2024-2025? She remains a formidable and respected force in the entertainment industry, though now from a different vantage point. After completing her term as president of SAG-AFTRA, she continues to be an influential voice in the union and the industry at large. Her leadership, particularly during the pivotal 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike, cemented her legacy as a champion for actors' rights. She still acts occasionally, often in projects that align with her values. However, her primary focus remains on advocacy and public speaking. She is a sought-after voice on issues like workers' rights, women in leadership, and the evolving landscape of the entertainment business. She also remains a beloved figure in the nostalgia world, attending fan conventions where she is met with warmth and respect. Fans appreciate her not just for Andrea Zuckerman, but for the impressive, principled woman she became. Gabrielle Carteris today is the ultimate success story. She took the platform from a teen drama and used it to build a legacy of real-world importance. She went from playing the smartest person in the room to actually being one of the most powerful. In the end, the brainy newspaper editor didn't just get a byline. She helped rewrite the rules for an entire industry. And so, from the sun-soaked drama of West Beverly High to the realities of life beyond the iconic zip code, the cast of 90210 has navigated fame, tragedy, and incredible career transformations. They've grown from teen idols into directors, authors, and advocates, each carving a unique path on their own terms. Their journeys remind us that life after high school, even a television one, is full of unexpected twists. Thanks for taking this nostalgic trip down memory lane. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your favorite 90210 memory in the comments below.